And okay, so welcome everybody. My name is Isabel and I'm the tech trainer for East Brunswick Public Library. And thank you for supporting East Brunswick Public Library. So you all should have access to the class handout, and that's where all the links are available that we're gonna see. Today, we're gonna do expenses, how to pay for expenses, and also how to add a bill and how to pay a bill. So the first thing is to go to the QuickBooks test drive. And the link is here. So you can just, let me put the link here so you all can use it. I'm gonna put it in the chat so you can have access to it. And if you have any question during the class, just you are welcome to either unmute yourself or write it on the chat. And this is, I'm setting up the QuickBooks test drive, and I failed the test. So let me just see if I can do this again. Okay, so this is the test drive for QuickBooks, and it's the site that we use to teach the classes. So there is data already entered, so it's a simulation of what a real company looks like. I don't know why it's okay. I had to change internet Wi-Fi. That's why I was a little smaller. So again, this is a QuickBooks site, and I put the links in the chat, and the handout also has all the links that you need. If you're just joining, all the information is in the chat. The link is in the chat. The test drive site is in the chat. So I will encourage you to follow along while I'll do this. So today we're gonna talk about how to track vendor bills and company expenses. So we learn, if you wanna review how to enter vendors in QuickBooks, I put here the lesson. We did it on February 2nd. It's very simple. And yeah, it's all spelled out there. But today we're gonna see how we can pay. So if you were in the previous classes, we talk about sales. So how to get sales, so how we get customers to pay us. And I don't know if you remember this graph. So when you did, if as a company, you can ask yourself to differentiate between a bill and an expense. So did you pay your vendor at the time of purchase or service? So if a vendor sells you something or provide you a service like an utility, a cell phone, or you bought supplies or you bought lunch for the company, if you pay right away, you're gonna use in QuickBooks what is called an expense. So that's expenses are when you're gonna pay your a vendor right away. So it's like when we go to a store and we pay with either a check or a debit card. It's the same thing, it's you pay immediately. So there is no there is nothing that you have to do after you do that. So when you pay as an expense, you pay right away, either with a check or a credit card, or but you're gonna issue an expense, and then that money is gonna come out of the bank. If you don't pay right away, the vendor's gonna send you a bill, so a request to pay. You're gonna enter that in QuickBooks as a bill, and then you're gonna be applying to the bill. So you might pay the bill in full, or you might add to it. So maybe it's something you have a whole year to pay, so you might want to separate it in 4 times. So you're gonna be paying the bill in 4 actions. So that's why you have a bill. And that also, once you pay, you physically, when you provide money to your vendor, that comes from the bank. So examples of expenses are office supplies, or something you pay at the time purchase, like it could be lunch, and it's gonna show up as an expense on the profit and loss expense report. And then you have the bills. So bills are be paid later. And they're gonna be under something called the account payable. So the account payable is lets you know how much you owe your vendors. So every month you're gonna get a report that we're gonna show you, that's gonna tell you how is your debt with your vendors. And that's gonna keep you track of how much you owe your vendors, and keep you track on your own expenses so you can budget accordingly. So, so here in QuickBooks, the part that we're gonna be talking today is gonna be here under vendors. So we're gonna do expense, we're gonna do bills, pay bills, and checks. So to start, we're gonna start with the expense. So an expense is you're gonna use it to pay something immediately. So let's start here with the QuickBooks, and we're gonna start here new, and we're gonna go here expense. Let me see if I can make this a little bit. Yeah, so we're gonna click, so we're going new. Then under vendors, we go and click expense. And then we're gonna get this prompt here. So this window. So in this window, you're gonna choose who you're gonna pay. So I'm just gonna put here this, we're gonna buy lunch. So imagine I'm buying lunch for the company. And then this is already set up here. So this is, we did this like in February, where we enter the vendors. So all these vendors are gonna be here. If that vendor is not there, for example, I have a vendor called Acme, I can add it here, and it's gonna add it, and I just do a quick add, and later on I can add everything else I need to do. So if you don't have it in the list, you can quickly add it. But I'm gonna add one from the list because sometimes it's saved on the, it saves on filling it out. So let me see. Okay, so let's do this. Let's do the first one, this one. So this is a wash card. So this is our vendor that we use every month to wash the cars. You choose where is the money gonna come out, and you have the balance here. And as long as you keep track of your transactions and you are clear, reconciling often, this is gonna be true or close to true, how much money you have in the checking account. We talked about that last week, about how to connect with the checking account to QuickBooks, and about reconcile. You can go on YouTube and check the previous class. It's available in East Monroe Public Library YouTube. And if you need, have any information, any questions, let me know and I can help you too. So here is the balance. Then we choose the payment date. So if you want to pay it today, this payment date, and most of the time expenses are paid right away. And then the payment method, you have, QuickBooks has different payment methods: credit card, a checking account, checks, and you can add also your own. So you can customize it the way you want. You have cash. So we're gonna do check. And then here's a reference number for that bill. So if you have an accounting process where you are keeping up on the expenses, you can put the number here. And then the category you choose. So this was car wash. So we can put here vehicle maintenance. So we can put maintenance and repair. And you can put here as much information as you want. So as much information that you want, you can put here. Car wash, and detailing. And let's put just $30 for now. I know it's not real, but we can just put $30 there. You can put more information here. You can add more lines. You can also attach. So maybe there is some, they give you some kind of information of all the details, that all the things that you're paying. So it's a detail, maybe a detailed invoice. So you can attach it here, and then you are done. So this has to match exactly to what you pay your vendor. So if you pay the vendor $30, this has to match. Once you're done, you can save and close, and there are other options here. You can save, you just save, and you continue. Maybe you want to add another one, or save and close, or save and new. So there are different options. This is the same thing written different ways. So you can just save and close, and you get out of there. And then you get a little reminder here that it was logged. So it's logged, it's recorded in the QuickBooks. So then I click X here. And now what would be the most important thing to do right now is to see if if it shows on the expenses. So we go here, expenses, and then it'll show up right here. So this is what we just did. So it's going to show on your expenses. So it was recorded, and you can edit and view it too. So you can view what it is. So this is, so what usually is gonna happen is you gonna go take the car, you either on this one, you're gonna pay with a check. So you write a check and you give it to the person, and then you're gonna record it here. So you're gonna record it here, but the check that you give it, you have to write the check yourself and give it to the person. Or if you have a credit card, you can, but this is not gonna pay this for you. This is just a recording, a bookkeeping tool. So you still have to pay your vendor. So it's recorded here, so it takes it as you paid it. Then you can go here to banking, and you can check that the transaction was recorded there. So you check here, checking, and then right here on the right, you go bank register. And under bank register, it should be recorded. It should be recorded as something that you pay. Once you upload the data once you get your statement from your bank, you're gonna upload that information into QuickBooks, and then you should be able to match the transaction from your bank account with the transaction in QuickBooks. It's not showing up here because I have to upload it have, in this case, you have to upload that I pay that on QuickBooks. Let's see. There are other ones here, but it's not showing that. So for you, you have QuickBooks. You either connect to the bank electronically, like you connect your QuickBooks, and then it'll upload the transaction nightly, or you manually have to upload the statement. And once you have that, you can match it. It'll show up here like this, that it'll match your QuickBooks transaction with your bank transaction, and that will help you reconcile. So on the bookkeeping record is showing that you pay $30 for washing the car. Okay, so any questions at this point? Is that clear? Okay. I don't see anything, so I hope everything is clear. So now we're gonna enter bills. So when do you enter bills? You enter bill from vendors to report on the account payable. So you know, okay, thank you, Maria. So you know how much you owe your vendor. So if you're buying materials from your vendors, usually they're gonna send you a bill, and it's a large bill. If it's a small bill, you know, $20, $30, most likely you're gonna give them a check right away and complete the transaction right away, and you don't even have to enter the bill. But sometimes you're gonna either have recurring bills like a utility, like if you are paying for cell phone, or you're paying for internet, you're paying for electricity, or you're paying for a cleaning service, you're gonna get recurring bills. So you're gonna enter that. Also, if there is a large amount you bought equipment, you're gonna be a large bill. So maybe this vendor is gonna allow you 30 days or 90 days to pay. So you're gonna enter, in that case, you're gonna enter the bill. So you can track the balance and how much you owe the vendors. And also, so you record when that's done, when you pay. And that it'll help you manage your budget, because you can see, well, I don't have to pay all my vendors now. I can use the money for something else. So you can choose what to do with the money that you have. So if you receive an electric bill, that would be a recurring payment. So you can track also when you have to pay and also how much you have to pay. So to enter the bill, so usually what happens is you get a electric bill, you're gonna get a paper saying you need to pay by this date or that date. So maybe by the end of the month you have to pay. So that you're gonna get a paper saying, you know, you have to pay $100 this month for electric. And so you're gonna enter that in QuickBooks. So you go here, new, and then you're gonna go to bill. And then you're gonna take that bill and you're gonna type it right here on this window. So if it's the electric, let's see if it's powered. Maybe there is an electric bill here. Maybe there is an electric bill, electric company here. Let me see. Maybe let's do this telephone. So instead of electric bill, let's go to the telephone, see if it's already due here. So the terms is due on receipt. So let's put net 10. So you have 10 days to pay it. This is maybe on the paper it says you have, usually the bill, you have to pay it, electric bill, they give you at least 2 weeks or so to pay it. So I'm going to put 10 days. The bill date is the bill that on the telephone information that tells you when was issued. So you're going to pay that. Then is the due date, is when the company wants you to pay by. If there is any number on the paper, on the payment request, so I'm just going to put a number here. But if you get an electric bill at home, most likely have a reference number, and you're going to put the same number in QuickBooks. Then you're going to have under categories. So this is already filled out. Utilities. So you just put months, power, cell phone. Months, cell phone. And then this is because this is already pre-filled. It's already comment 56, but you can change it. You can put 100. Maybe this month is more. And then you can add any details here, and then you can scan the cell phone, the telephone payment request, and attach it here. So everything gets together. And then the amount here is going to be the same then on the bill. So they have to pay whatever you're going to give the telephone company, they have to match. And then you're going to do save and close. And then it gives you like that is close. And then that's recorded here under expenses. And here you can see the expenses. This is the bill we made. So we haven't paid anybody. This is just a request from the telephone company. Here is the reference. And here in the actions, we have these options. So mark as paid, we have a scheduled payment, and all these options. So a scheduled payment, I'll talk about that in a little bit, but so let's see if we can pay this bill. So this is showing here, and we can filter too, and we can click filter and go to status and only show the open expenses, not things that we owe. And we can see here, all these are bills that haven't been paid. Okay, and this is the due date. So some of them are overdue. And here's the balance. So maybe this is what we owe, and this is the total. Okay, so now we're going to pay the telephone bill. So to do that, we go here, new, and you're going to see here this choice called pay bills. So this is where we're going to make the check to pay the telephone company. So we click pay bills. Then we choose here how we're going to pay it. So MasterCard, credit card, or a checking account. The checking account is going to show us how much balance is available. And the payment date is going to default to today. And then the starting check. So for now, let's hold on this. For now, let's do our telephone company. So we can choose this one. And then that's the amount. We can also choose to pay maybe half if you have the relationship with the vendor. Maybe you tell them, I'll pay you half now, I'll pay you half next week. So you can choose to pay only what you want. This is helpful if this is a if you are agree with the vendor to pay in maybe in 4 months, so you're paying a quarter of it or a portion of it every time. So you'll have some kind of relationship with the vendor that vendor will allow you to do that. So let's assume that's a relationship. You have here these alerts showing that those bills are overdue. So, so that's very important, because if it's, the vendor can maybe hold on service, not send you service, not send you the material promise. Sometimes you have to, they send you a bill for something they're gonna start building or making or start supplying to you, and they only gonna deliver at the time of the cancellation of the amount. So you have to see what is the situation with a vendor. So here's some, QuickBooks is gonna give you some of these alerts to tell you these are need your attention. So it will say for overdue. But right now I'm gonna do this only. So imagine that I have a check here. So I have a check on my checkbook, and I'm gonna write a check for this telephone company. So I'm gonna write here, the telephone company, $50, and then I'm gonna make my check. If that check, the number of that check, I need to put that number here. So if my check was, the number was 100 on my checkbook, right here on my checkbook, it says the check number is 100. I need to place it here. Okay, and this is because otherwise QuickBooks doesn't know what is the number of your check. If you have, if I'm paying two things, if I'm paying two vendors, like I just have here, then I'm gonna tell them start numbering the checks with 100. So the first check is gonna be 100, the second check is gonna be 101. So that's to allow you to keep track of your checks. But if you wanna do 111, because you know that this one is 100, you just wanna put here 100, and then you put here what you wanna pay, and then make sure you choose save. Okay, and then you're gonna close out of here. You're gonna go here to expenses, and it should show that you pay $50. So you still owe. So here on our telephone bill, we pay only half. So the balance is 50. So this is what is left to pay. The total bill is 100. So we still owe 50. So here it tells you what you owe. Okay. So any questions so far? Okay, so if you have any question, just write it in the chat. So the other thing is, you might have noticed, if I go here to pay bill, I have other options here. So for example, if I go here to my telephone company, so now see it says 101 because 100 was the last number entered. So now it assuming that the next number 101. I have a couple options here. There is something called a scheduled payment that QuickBooks has available. You have to connect your checking account or your saving account or whatever account you're gonna use. You're gonna connect it with QuickBooks, and there is a whole menu you have to set up. It's not gonna come out with this because this is a demo, so it's not gonna, you're not gonna be able to see that, but there is a video here. I put the video here so you can see how it works. And you're gonna, if you choose a scheduled payment, you have the choice to add your checking account or your credit card and the debit card, and you can use that to pay, like kind of like online banking. The credit card is gonna, if you choose a credit card, QuickBooks is gonna charge you 2.9% as a fee. If you choose your debit card to pay your checking account, it's not gonna charge you anything. So you can also have the option to pay this directly from your bank account or any account that you have, even your credit card, and don't have to write a check. So that's an option that QuickBooks gives you. There is also an option that I can have QuickBooks print a check. And we're gonna see that in a little bit. And that's why you have all these options here to print later. So if you can have your own checkbook, and you can do, the old-fashioned way, write it, or you can have QuickBooks print out checks. So then you leave these numbers alone, because QuickBooks will keep that counter. So you can, if you choose to do the printout, you go here and you're gonna say save and print. And then it's gonna take you here to the wizard to set up your checks. So you can use, I'm just gonna show you what it looks like. And you can go to the preferences under QuickBooks, and we did it the first class, and you can put your logo, you can put different things, and you can choose colors. You can also buy QuickBooks formatted checks. So those are, you just put it in your printer and it'll print, so you don't have to do extra work. If not, you have to set up the logo and your name and the company in QuickBooks, and then you just put a piece of paper and it'll print. So it'll look kind of, let me show you a preview. So it's gonna ask you here the number, and you're gonna print, and then print. It's not giving me the, oh, there it is, it's slow. So this is the way it's gonna maybe look. Let me try it again. So it's gonna tell you, is it a print or not print, because it doesn't want you to have two checks with the same number. So I'm gonna say, reprint the checks, and I'm gonna do it again. Oh, I need to select this. And see, there it is. So this is how it's gonna set up, and QuickBooks has different formatting, so you can choose different colors and so on. So you can print that, or you can buy some checks from QuickBooks that have maybe have better design. Okay, so that's to print check. And also if you, let's do and pay another bill. So if you go here to this to expenses, you can click here and choose to pay. No, we have to go here to pay bills, and then we can choose another one. So maybe I'm gonna choose this one, and I'm gonna run out of money, so I'm just gonna put 700 or 500, because otherwise I'm gonna run out of money. And then I can also choose to print later. So I can click here, print later, and that's for if you have several things that you wanna take care of. You can enter all your bills and do all the bookkeeping, and then when you're done, you can print all the checks. So I can do that here, and then I'm gonna choose save and close, and then I can go here to new, and then at the end it says print checks, and here you can print. So if you have a whole day, you have a lot of bills to pay, you can set up all your checks, and then at the end, when you're done, you can print everything. And you can check here on your banking, and you're gonna see that they've been registered. Anytime you click save, it's gonna show that you're on the bank register. So here's 530. In the telephone company, it shows 50. So anytime you click pay bill save, QuickBooks is gonna think that you pay. So if you tell QuickBooks that you pay, you need to make sure you pay, physically pay that vendor, unless you do this. So for example, if you wanna use the schedule, I went too far. If you wanna use the schedule payment online, so you can pay online, and then it's done. You're done because the bank got your money out, sent it to the vendor, and it got recorded in QuickBooks. But if you do it by hand or cash, you have to make sure there is physical money exchange. That you tell QuickBooks that the action that you take matches what you recorded in QuickBooks. Okay, any questions so far? No questions? So if you want to pay with checks, you can pay with your own checks, or you can print the checks with QuickBooks. So for example, if you go somewhere and you buy office supplies and you write a check, so you went to Staples, you bought paper, you come to your office and you want to report that check, you go here, check, and you're going to put here, I'm going to put this one, and you make sure you choose the check-in, and then the date, and then you already paid with the check. So you're gonna take your checkbook and you're gonna say, oh, that was checks 110, and then you put here supplies, and maybe you put paper, and you put $30, and then you add, maybe they give you a receipt, you can attach it, and you save and close, and you're done. And that's if you have a handwritten check. If you want QuickBooks to print you the check, you go here, check, you choose so this is a lunch, you're gonna put here you're gonna tell QuickBooks to use your check. So usually if you have QuickBooks setting up your checks, you're not gonna have two checkbooks. You're gonna have QuickBooks printing out the checks, or you're gonna be handwriting the check. So that's why you're not gonna cross like I'm doing now. You're not gonna cross-reference your checkbooks versus the QuickBooks. You're gonna have either one or the other. So that's why, so you can put here. So that's why QuickBooks, if you're printing the checks from QuickBooks, it's gonna automatically keep the counter. So you can put here meals, and lunch, and you can put here 150, and then just save and close. And then you can go here if you need the check printed. You can go here, print checks. And there it is, this one. So you can print both of them. And here's the preview. Those are 2 checks. Okay, so we went through how to pay expenses. So expenses are paid at the moment that they happen. Bills are gonna happen in a later time, and it's be up to the terms of the vendors. So maybe the vendor will set up the way that you need to pay. So you're gonna enter the bills into the QuickBooks, and then you're gonna use QuickBooks to pay, to record the payment, whether you did it by check or credit card or bank withdrawal or anything, or automatic schedule. You can also schedule your payments. Well, this is scheduled. It'll happen automatically. Like if you have online banking, you have the option. So I have several videos here that will explain step by step how to do everything I have shown before. You can also have the option to make sure you don't have duplicate bills. So you can set it up here so you don't have duplicate bills if that's applicable to you. And let's see. Oh, I put here the the reporting. So if you want reports, we're gonna go here, reports, and we're gonna find bills, and we can do unpaid bills. And when we do this report, and this is a report that if you have a business, you're gonna do it weekly, you can set it up. You can change this. You can also put what dates you want. If you want this month, you can customize it, and it's gonna show you here what vendors haven't been paid, what is the balance of each vendor. You can also do the account receivable, account payable, aging, and that's gonna show you how much you owe and how much you have put in it. So if anybody has any question, experienced something similar? So if you get lost, everything is here on the handout, and you can follow the steps. And then if you want to use Wave, so Wave is an alternative to QuickBooks, and it's free. So it's a free service. I mean, you can get a free account. You don't have to pay. You create just your own account, and you can use it to keep track of your business expenses and accounting. So if you want to use Wave to pay your expenses, in this case, you just go here to purchase and you enter bills. And like, for example, I have a bill here I created. You can just click here and you create a bill, and you can choose a vendor. So you can see it's a little bit different than QuickBooks. So, and you can put a bill number too. You can record a payment. So if you want to check or something, you can choose where you want checking. And so you can also use this in case you don't want to use QuickBooks, or this is a different, an alternative. And it's gonna show also the profits, and you can get reports too of anything that you need to for find out if you have anything. So purchase age payable is a report. So it's a little bit more simpler to do it in Wave than QuickBooks. Okay, well, this is the last class for QuickBooks. All the classes have been archived in our East Brunswick Public Library YouTube channel. So I encourage you to look at them. And if you have any questions, please email me. I'm happy to help you walk through QuickBooks or Wave. And we have more material here at the library that can help you. We have universal classes that also have a class for QuickBooks. And let me know if you're interested in any other aspect of QuickBooks. We are open to offering more QuickBooks classes. So if you have a specific subject, let me know. I put a bonus lesson here, which is inventory and purchase order. That's the only part I didn't cover, is how to do keep track of inventory. So if there is enough interest, we can see if we can offer that class. But